Hi, beautiful ladies, and welcome back. Welcome back to my channel, Widows Transforming Grief to Growth. If you're new here, please like and subscribe the channel so that you get the weekly updates. I pop in every week, and together we uncover your grief healing journey, why it's so important to grow beyond your grief. So today what I really wanted to talk about was my journey. Why and how I got to this stage in my grief journey and what I prefer to call my joy journey. So my name is Denise Deelwaard and I'm the creator of the Flow Grief Release Method. How did I get there? how did I release my grief? How did I find joy again? It wasn't easy. Anybody that says to you, oh, it's easy, you just have to, move forward and you just have to um, start a new life and you just have to do this and you just have to do that and you just have to forget about your past. They are lying to you. They are absolutely lying to you. So please don't, listen to the myths. Number one myth that I bought into when Martin passed away. Now, he died in 2009, and you might say, yeah, Denise, but that was 16 years ago, so you're okay now. You've had the time to heal. I healed within the first 6 months. I grew and started growing me within the first 6 months of Martin passing away, and I started helping other widows do the same within the first 6 months of Martin passing away. So I've been doing this for a long time. It seems forever, but it's my passion and it's my mission. Because the myths out there that I bought into, and you might be doing the same, just pop a, yes, I'm doing the same. This is, let me know what myths you are following. One of the biggest ones was time heals all. Just wait for time because you know what? Give it time, time will heal all. Well, it doesn't. All time does is it makes it worse. It makes the heartache longer. It makes the longing worse. It makes you want to scream because how much more time must I wait? You see, time is an illusion. Time is just how we see it. Think about that. Time is numbers on a clock. That's all it is. But everybody says, just wait for time. You'll be okay. With time heals all. So that's the first myth that I had to ditch. I had to go, no, I'm not waiting for any more time. I was 51 when Martin passed away. I didn't want to live the rest of my life forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. I'm longing and waiting and hoping and crying for him. We met when I was 16. He was fresh out of the army. I'm originally from South Africa, now living in Australia. So yeah, my kids are all Australian now. I've been here for over 30 years. So, we were kids when we got married. I was 18 when we got married. Martin was 20, 21, going on 21. And then we had our kids, as you did in the 70s. You had your kids, you had your life, and life went on. There was no, then we immigrated from South Africa to Australia, and then we opened businesses, and we lived our life until Martin had a blood clot, and he was gone in an instant. No warning, no goodbyes, nothing. He was only 55. And because we had the kids young, he and I were starting, oh, okay, all the kids have moved out. We had grandkids. The kids had all three of my children they had their partners, they had their lives, they had their children. And Martin and I started our new life together. We both worked from home. I always like to say in my previous life, I was a bookkeeper, tax agent. That's what I did. I helped small businesses with their taxes and their books and everything else. And Martin was an auto electrician. So we both worked from home. It was amazing. We were on 8 acres of land. We used to both work from home. He used to go out and fix the trucks or whatever he needed to do. I used to go out and see my clients, come home. And then in the afternoon, we would sit outside by the pool and watch the kangaroos hopping past. That was our life. And we were just starting to step into that when Martin was taken, when he suddenly oops, he was gone. It left me reeling. I didn't know what to do. I listened to everybody. I tried everything. I joined grief groups. I joined Facebook groups. I read books. I read memes. I was strong. I believed that I didn't need to cry because I had my children and my grandchildren that I had to be strong for. Who else can relate to this? And time ticked by until one day my daughter said to me, Mum, you're getting Alzheimer's. Because apparently I was repeating everything. I know I was forgetting everything. Or, I put down my keys and then 3 months later I'd find them on top of the TV that I'd been watching. But that was okay. Oh, there's my keys. All right, fine. Or, what was I going to say? And my mind would go blank. And my daughter said to me, Mum, you're getting Alzheimer's. Now, I'm 51. To hear my daughter say that I'm getting Alzheimer's was a shock. It was like, am I? Am I really? And I thought, well, maybe I am going mad because, and crazy and losing my mind and, all of that because it was so sudden that Martin passed away. It was a shock to my system. So I booked an appointment with my doctor. Or should I say my daughter booked the appointment because I was fine. I've got the stiff upper lip. I'm okay. Don't worry, I'll be fine. All I have to do is wait for time. And, it's only 6 months. Don't worry. And that's what everybody was saying. Oh, Denise, it's only 6 months. Give it time. Go through the 4th stage of grief you're in. So I was trying to navigate this, as I'm sure you guys are doing right now or have tried. That system is broken. It doesn't work. It really doesn't work. So I saw my doctor, and my doctor said, oh, you need to go and see a psychologist. Not a counselor, but a psychologist. So I went and booked and saw a psychologist. I had never been for any kind of counseling or therapy in my life before. I didn't need to go. There was no, I had nothing. He was my rock. So after about, a month or two, maybe even 3 months of going every single week to see my psychologist, I said to her, I come every week and I feel fantastic while we're sitting and we're talking and sharing a cup of tea and we're having some biscuits together. And, I'm telling you how I feel. I'm telling you how the kids feel. But when I get home, or even before I get home, in the car, I'm already feeling that grief, depression, doom and gloom come over my head. I don't want to feel like that anymore. When's that going to lift? And her response to me was, oh my goodness, Denise, you are grieving. You are grieving the loss of your husband. It's going to take you at least 5 to 7 years to heal. And it was in that moment that I had a wake-up call. While I was sitting in her office, cup of tea in hand, drinking my tea, I used some choice four-letter words to myself and I went, no way, no effing way am I going to live like this for the rest of my life. There has to be a different way. And so my flow grief release journey began. So bear in mind that this was in 2009, before Facebook was what it is today. This is 16 years ago. And before people were out there with other methods and other things that I could maybe follow. And I thought, okay, I need to heal me. I didn't know or call it the flow grief release method. I just thought I needed to heal me, not my grief. That realization came to me as like, maybe I'm trying to do the wrong thing here. Maybe I'm trying to heal the grief. But grief is love. Grief is an emotion. We can't heal or forget about emotions. But how do I turn that sorrow, which is also an emotion, into love? turn the grief into love. And, it was a journaling and a soul-searching exercise that I did on myself to actually find me again. I remember sitting in the lounge, and I had my little poodle with me, and I looked at her and I said to her, Lulu, Mummy doesn't even know who she is. Bear in mind I got married young. Martin and I were one. We had businesses together, we worked together, we lived together, we ate together, we were together 24/7. We really were. We're very blessed in that way. And I didn't know who I was. I was no longer Martin's wife. And in a sense, I wasn't the kids' mother anymore either. Yes, my role was a mother and my role was a grandmother. But who was that mother and who was that grandmother? And that's my journey. That's where my inner journey began. I enrolled in a life coaching certification, a 3-year life coaching certification to heal me. It was never intended to help anybody else. I was never going to help anybody in grief. If anything, I was going to help people in business because that was my background. And and through that, and through finding me, through doing the inner work on myself, learning about what my values are, what my triggers are, what my beliefs are, what my shadow side is, how I react to situations based on my beliefs, how I'm programmed. How am I programmed to believe things in a certain way? Is it true? Is that belief true? And I started challenging myself. And that's when I started healing and growing so quickly. So quickly. I still had my grief. I still longed for Martin to be with me. And even now, 16 years later, I miss him like crazy. I really do. But I don't long and ache for him. And I know a lot of you listening to this just want to get there. You just want to say, I just want to start. I want to get out of survival. We go into survival mode after we lose our life partner. And that survival mode, depending on what we do with it and how we react to it, can become our go-to forever. We can live in survival mode till we die as well. And that's not a way to live. You want to thrive. You want to enjoy life. You want to open up opportunities for new love, whether that's another life partner or a friend, or you want to open up your heart. Our heart shuts down. My heart shut down so tightly after Martin died. I thought I'm never going to have it opened again. But it has opened. It has opened. And it has opened in a way that I least expected it. So where are you in your grief journey right now? I ask you, are you doing the inner work on yourself? Or are you just sitting back, reading books, hoping that by some form or osmosis, the reading of a book is going to give you what you need to heal? Or are you actually taking action? You see, if I didn't take action, if I didn't enroll and invest in myself, I had to invest in myself. I had no option. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to pay all this money out to become a life coach. But it doesn't matter because it's going to heal me anyway. And I saw it as an investment in me. So I had to invest in myself. Not only financially, but emotionally. I had to have my back. Let me ask you, do you have your back? Or are you waiting for somebody else to have your back? Before we can enter into a new relationship of any kind, and I know a lot of my widow clients, when they come and see me and when they enroll in the program and we start working together, the first thing they want is to have another man in their life. Because why? We feel that emptiness. We feel that loneliness. We feel that our rock is not there. We have to make all our decisions on our own. We have to, tasks that were their job, like taking the garbage out. Suddenly, we have to do that, don't we? Like, garbage is not going to take itself out. I have to do that. Whether it's mowing, whether it's tightening a screw in the door that's come loose, little things like that. And I have so many celebrations now with my widow clients where they go, guess what I did today? The tap washer was leaking and I changed it. Yes, go me. That's growth. It's not focusing on what we don't have anymore. It's focusing on the love that we have from our beautiful relationship and our beautiful memories that we share. They never go away. But we have to feel what we're feeling first. And that's the flow method. It's feel. F for feel. I didn't feel initially. And that's why I was losing my mind and I was going crazy because I was masking everything. We're brilliant at wearing a mask. I call it the I'm okay mask. Or how are you feeling? Not bad. Yeah, getting there. That's a mask. Because deep down inside, you are crumbling, you are crying, you are hurting inside. But to the world, you look as though everything's okay. Yeah? How many of you are doing that? Put in the comments. Yeah, doing that, done that. We all do it. So, healing grief is not healing grief, it's healing ourselves. Now, in the early stages, you won't be ready to work with me. Maybe 3 to 6 months down the line when you start going, okay, I've cried enough, I've done enough, I've seen my therapist, I've read enough books, what's next? That's when I can help you that's when I help all my clients and I can help you move forward because you're now ready to look at yourself. We have to rediscover who we are so that we can reimagine a new life. But we first need to feel. Once we know what we're feeling, we can now let go. Oh, that sounds so scary. What is letting go? Letting go is not letting go of your love, of your memories, of anything that you've shared over the period that you were together. Martha and I were together for over 30 years. I didn't want to let go of any of that. I didn't want to let go of him. And it's not that. Letting go is letting go of your pain. It's letting go of the guilt. I had incredible guilt when Martin passed away. I wasn't with him. I was not with him. Maybe I should have, if I was. All of that came up for me. So I had incredible guilt. I had guilt for my kids. I felt as though I'd let them down because I wasn't looking after Martin the way I should have. Even though I couldn't have stopped it, he had a blood clot. But irrationally, we're not thinking rationally in the early stages of our grief. So we have to let go, but it's only when we feel those emotions do we know what to let go of. Once I started letting go, I could now start overcoming, which is the O in flow. Now I can start overcoming. What am I overcoming? Who do I want to be? What's holding me back? Going deep within. What are my beliefs? What do I believe? Is it my belief or was it my parents' belief? What do I believe now? Because we all have a shadow side to ourselves and shadow beliefs. So we have limiting beliefs that keep us stuck and that's just who I am. How many times have you said to yourself, well, that's just who I am? No, it's not. That's who you believe you are. Does it make sense? I hope it does. Because this is how you move forward and this is how you reimagine your new life. You heal you. You grow you. Because once you've overcome now, you can become whole. What does whole mean? Oh, yeah, airy fairy, we'll become whole and our life will be magical. No, it won't be. life will life. Life will life. You will have obstacles. You will have ups. You will have downs. You had them before your life partner passed away. Nothing's going to change now and you magically go into a magical fairyland. But becoming whole means that you can handle what's coming your way. You're strong. You're reimagining your life, whatever it is. Whether that's you want to travel. How many of you want to travel, but you're too scared to travel on your own? Oh, I could never travel on my own. Oh, my husband and I used to always go traveling together. I want to do it on my own. So many of my widows come to me and say, I want to travel, but I'm too scared. And we work through that by growing them into the person they need to become to be able to be confident enough to travel on their own. Now you can't stop them. They're traveling all over the world. So, I think of one beautiful client of mine whose husband was killed in a motorcycle accident. And their last words to each other, or their words always to each other, was, last man standing goes on living and loving. When she enrolled into the Flow program, she said to me, this is what we said to each other, because she had breast cancer years and years and years before he passed away. And she said to me, we thought it was going to be me that was going to go, but he was killed in a motorcycle accident. And she said, all I could hear was him saying and us saying together, last man standing goes on living and loving. She had no children, but she knew that she wanted another life partner in her life. And she also knew she wasn't ready. The way she was, she couldn't attract the right life partner. So we rolled up our sleeves and we got to work. And she rediscovered who she was or is. She realized that a lot of her conditioning from a child was keeping her back and holding her back. She had a lot of false beliefs. Obviously, she had a lot of stuff, and we all do, that we have with our life partner. And letting go of that sometimes feels impossible. So that's part of the letting go. It's letting go of what you believe should have been and would have been. We have to let go of that. We really do. Anyway, she's now met the most amazing man. It took her about, I would say, a year, 2 years after we worked together. And she met an amazing man through a mutual friend who also lost his wife. So I always say, and I know some of you will say, oh, Denise, how can you say that? But I always say, if you want to meet a new person, you want another life partner, they have to know, depending on what their circumstances are, they have to know that your husband, your life partner that passed away, will always be in your heart. It's not like a divorce where you both got angry with each other, or he cheated or you cheated, or whatever the story is with a divorce. He will always be in your heart. He's always part of your love. There's a little section in your heart for him, a little door, and that's his private door. So when you get a new man in your life, or a new life partner in your life, they have to know that they are entering into a threesome. A lot of times they feel uncomfortable because, and you might feel uncomfortable, because I know a lot of my clients say to me, Denise, I've met this most amazing man, but he won't allow me to talk about my husband. My answer to them is, he's not amazing. You need to ditch him. Because if he was an amazing man, he would embrace your husband and you and your kids. Because remember, your children, your husband and your life partner was your children's dad. Biological or not, he was their father. So for somebody else to come into your life, they need to know that. Yeah. But that takes a certain amount of growth. And that's what I did when Martin passed away. I had to grow me. I had to find me. And that's the work we do together. So if you want to find you and you want to know who you are, reach out to me. I've got an amazing quiz down below that you can take to see where you are in your grief journey. Have a look at that. See where you're at. If you don't find the link to the quiz, it will be there soon. I also have a book. I don't know whether you're aware of I have a book that you can that outlines the flow method. So have a read of that. But reach out to me. Book a call with me. There's so many ways you can reach out to me. Like and subscribe this channel so that you get all the information and you can start your inner journey on yourself. You can start your growth and start your joy journey. It's been amazing chatting to you today. And until next week, love you all. Bye.